Hi guys, I'm Syrachime and I welcome you back to another episode of my Pokemon FireRed Let's Play bonus videos. In the last episode, we managed to successfully infiltrate the Team Rocket warehouse finally after getting the 2 passwords, and after we defeated what was left of the remaining Team Rocket admins, got the Sapphire back from the scientist who stole it from us, and brought it back to Celio where he used it to program a machine that would allow us to trade with Pokemon trainers from Hoenn. And in addition to that, by defeating Team Rocket, we managed to successfully make Loralee happy enough to where she returned to the Pokemon League. Well, we actually didn't tell her that, but she telepathically found out. And now with that out of the way, you might be wondering I'm standing in front of Loralee's house, and I'm mostly doing that out of respect because I don't want to go into a person's house that I do not know. But the main reason I'm out here is because, well, we are going to explore the remaining parts of the islands that we have not looked at yet. Explore some parts of the islands we haven't looked at, in addition to some islands that we haven't looked at yet. So yeah, we're going to do quite a bit of exploration here. And we're going to get started with that right away, but before I actually get started, I would recommend that if you're playing along, you have an empty slot in your party for what's coming up. You will see that I've actually done that. You will notice that I have given Rafflesia the shaft for this episode, and I will explain why I did that in a little bit. But yes, you can expect Rafflesia not to show up for battle, and I'm going to switch my party around a little bit. I'm going to try to get through quite a bit today, so we're going to have the strongest Pokemon to hopefully avoid battles if we can. So now that we've got Rafflesia, or we've given Rafflesia the shaft, we're going to go ahead and get started. We pretty much have explored 1 island, 2 island, 3 island, and even 4 island. But there were a few parts of 5 island we haven't looked at in addition to some parts on 6 island. And we haven't even touched 7 island at all. So we're going to try to do all of that in this episode. Whether we get done or not remains to be seen, but we will still try. So say goodbye to 4 island. This will be the last time we come here. Goodbye, you jerk. If you see something worthwhile, I will pay you $1 million to take a picture of it. Moving on. Alright, so now that we're here, we're going to head over to 1 island with the sea galloping ferry thing. Ahoy there! Where do you want to set sail? Take me to 5 Island. We got a lot to explore. Alright, all aboard Sea Gallop High Speed 3. And with that, we sail across the ocean to the island. Now when you come here, we've already explored the meadow that was here, but let me get my town map out. We'll see the areas that we haven't explored yet. Alright, so we get the town map out. You will notice that there are some areas to the north that we have not looked at. The Water Labyrinth, in addition to the Resort Gorgeous, and the Lost Cave, and there's also some areas to the south, the Memorial Pillar, and we will check that all out. But first, let's head to the north and see what's up there. So once you have this is where I recommend you have a open slot in your party. I also recommend you have a bunch of repels to avoid doing Pokemon battles if you can. Random encounters, don't want to have to deal with them with us if I don't have to, excuse me. Alright, so we set sail up here. We're going to swim up here. There are some trainers along the way, so if you don't want to battle them, just kind of be careful about that. Now, there is a little labyrinth over here, like it says. You want to make your way over to a tiny island. And once you successfully get here, I am not doing a good job of it right now. Alright, once we get here, you want to talk to this old man right here because he has something very interesting for you. You talk to him, he says, "You travel all over the place, don't you?" "You bet I do. I've went all over Kanto and even these Sevii Islands here." "You're not driving your Pokemon too harshly, are you?" "Well, nobody except Electra, but whether them driving that too harshly or not remains to be seen. Anyway, you were saying?" "Let me take a look. Morris Code to tell us that?" "Oh, impressive. You treat your Pokemon right." "Yes, I treat Cold very well. The rest of my Pokemon not so much. We've given Rafflesia the shaft. Tells you what I think about it." I like Rafflesia. It just doesn't really have much purpose right now. Anyway, moving on. "I think you can be entrusted with this." And with that, he hands us... Well, please, I'd like you to have this. Alright, give it to us, dude. And with that, we receive an egg. "I received that egg while I was traveling. I'm glad I met someone like you." "I'm glad I met someone like you, too. So here in our party, we now have our first Pokemon egg. And this thing will hatch over time, but as you can see, it only occasionally moves. It should hatch soon. So we will hopefully see it hatch in this episode, but whether we do or not remains to be seen. We'll see what actually happens as we get going. So now that we've got this, we're going to head up to the labyrinth, or through this labyrinth rather. We're going to head up to Resort Gorgeous. And if you go up there, I guess I can say, there's not a ton of stuff up there. More or less what's up here is you got a bunch of islands with a bunch of trainers on it. I'll go ahead and do 1 trainer. Most of these trainers are, the angle, it's not quite there. Most of these trainers, as you will see, are artists, and they have the Johto Pokemon Smeargle. So I'll go ahead and show this one right now, but I probably won't show a lot more after this. And I'll throw out coal. We'll just do 1 flamethrower and call it a day. Hopefully that'll take it out. What about too many of these things? Like I said, I'm not going to do a whole bunch of trainers like this. I'm just going to show this one so that you can see and you can do what you want with this. If you want to look around here, you feel free to. Otherwise, there's not much here. So we get $800 for winning. We're going to keep on exploring now. So once you sail over to this island, you will see that we've actually encountered a rather big island, but once again, there's just trainers up here that you can battle. Now, if you actually go beyond this resort gorgeous, don't worry, there's nothing in that building. I did a check beforehand. There's a trainer right here, and I've successfully avoided it. Score 1 for my ninja skills. Now, there's this cave here. If you go inside of it, this is actually the Lost Cave. This is the equivalent to the Lost Woods in the Ocarina of Time if you've ever played that game. More or less, it's a labyrinth. You have to take the right paths to navigate around. There are a couple of trainers here, so if you don't want to battle them, don't worry about that. There are also Pokemon here. We'll not go over too many of those. I know one is Murkrow, but that's not important. Now, there are a lot of good items here if you want to find them. I'm only going to do 2 right now. I know for a fact that there is a Lax Incense, which will increase your evasion by 10%, or 5% rather, in addition to a Sea Incense. To find the Lax Incense, all you really want to do is you want to head up and then head back down, and that should take you to it, or not. Apparently my information is wrong. Maybe it's down then up. Let's check that up. Wow, I do not know where I'm going. Okay, well anyway, there are some good items here in addition to what we got here. Boy, I am not doing anything that well. Well, there are a couple of trainers here you can battle, and I am not doing very well. Like I said, you have to know where you're going, and I do not know where I'm going. But in addition to the Lax Incense and the Sea Incense, which will raise the power of water-type moves by 10%, you can also find a silk scarf, a couple of rare candies, one rare candy, a max revive, and a couple of nuggets. It's not really worth doing everything, and I'm not really going to go through this. I just wanted to show this was here. If you want to find those, I'm sure you could find those somewhere. I'm not going to get the items myself, but there you go if you want it. So once we've done all that, that pretty much takes care of everything up here to the north. I'm going to fly back to the Pokemon Center, and I will show you one other thing that is here on this island, and we will progress on from there. Be right back. Alright, now that we're back here on 5 Island, now there's one other thing that you might want to look at and explore, especially if you're playing this game for the Pokédex. There are a couple of items, or at least one item that I'm aware of, that you are going to want to get, and it is over at Memorial Island. Now, if you want to get this item, what you want to do is you actually want to head past the meadow where we were, and you will notice that there's some water we can surf here on. We're going to go ahead and take this as we can. And since we can surf, we're going to go ahead and do it. And if you make your way over to Memorial Pillar, if you just go up there, that's more or less a long route to get all the way down here. There are a few trainers if you want to battle those. You can see a few Johto Pokemon. And once you make it here to Memorial Island, you go up here and talk to this guy right here. You will notice this very weird thing, which I can imagine a million things this could be, but if you talk to him, he says, "Scrub, scrub." He is scrubbing the rock, but why? Hello. Your Pokemon look healthy. Well, they are as of this moment. Rafflesia, excuse me, I can't even get my Pokemon's names out today. Electra may not be after so long, but that is besides the point. This is where I buried my Onix. It was named Tectonix. Wow, talk about... I thought the names for my Pokemon were weird. That is the weirdest one ever. Anyway, talk to him again. Scrub, scrub. Yep, he just does the same thing over again. So apparently this is where he has buried his Onix. That is a really weird place to bury it. Here lies Tectonix. A horrible nickname's actually pretty cool, but I like my nicknames better. Anyway, there is a lemonade placed as an offering in front of the grave. Okay, that's a little creepy. We're not going to do too much with this here. But anyway, the main reason I came down here was for this. You pick this up, you can get a Meadow Coat. Now, if you equip this to Onix or a Scizor and trade it, you can receive the Pokemon... There goes my repels wearing off. You can get the Pokemon Scizor and Steelix. So you can get those for your Pokédex if you want it. Otherwise, not much really point to being here. Just a couple of trainers. You can go up here if you want to see those. But otherwise, like I said, just the Meadow Coat, and outside of that, there's not much else here. Alright, so now that we've explored all of 5 Island, we're going to head back to the Pokemon Center and sail over to 6 Island. We will do a little bit of exploring there. And once I get there, well, I'll head back right now, and I will meet you guys there in just a little bit. Be right back. Alright, once we are back again at the Pokemon Center, we're going to go ahead and run down here, sail down to 6 Island. Ahoy there, where do you want to set sail? If you could read my mind, I'd say 6 Island, but you cannot, so we're going to go ahead and just sail anyway. Alright, we're going at high speed 6 to island 6. That is fantastic. Totally see how that would be helpful. Alright, so once we get here, after we arrive, we've done a little bit of exploring already. Let's go ahead and pull out our town map and see the areas that we haven't explored yet, as is tradition. Now, we've looked around a little bit. We know what's to the south of us with the water path, the ruined valley, and that dotted hill, but we didn't necessarily go to the top up here. Now, there isn't a great deal that you can actually do here, but we're going to go ahead and look at it anyway to kind of explore. And as we go along here, gotta make sure I'm moving her along in a decent pace and everything. Alright, if you go surf up here, we're going to surf up to the north, but not before I get up a couple of rappels. I am not going to do this without rappels, if I can help it. Alright, we throw up our rappels, now we can surf to the north. Now, there are a few trainers here. If you don't want to do them, just completely, you can avoid them. Wow, I am doing horrible at that. What were you suggesting? Wait, what? You're suggesting you're sick of seeing swimmers like me? Oh, don't be hating. You know what? Just for that, I am going to battle you, jerk. I do not want to battle you, but because you're being a jerk, I will battle you. I do not take lightly to jerks. Oh, well, he's only got one Pokemon. It's not that bad, so we'll do with this what we can, and then call it a day. Go ahead and intimidate me. See if I care. Alright, we got this swimmer here with a Gyarados. Not really that intimidating, even though it has Intimidate for its ability, but it's not that bad. Yeah, Gyarados in this generation's not too particularly good. I mean, Dragon Dance is effective, but it has no stabs to take advantage of. I mean, it can't learn any flying moves in this generation, and all water-type moves in this generation are special attacks, and its special attack is abysmal. If Gyarados' special attack was really good, this would be the ultimate Pokemon. I don't know if this is true or not, but I've heard a lot of rumors that Gyarados in the original Red and Blue was supposed to be a Water Dragon type, but because there was not really much that they could really do against that, they went ahead and changed its typing from Water Dragon to Water Flying. Kind of wish its Mega Evolution would have became Water Dragon in Pokemon X and Y, but it didn't, so yeah, that's that. Oh, no, no, no! Yes, 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 we are done battling you, thank goodness. Get back to what's really important, that is showing you guys how to do things here. Alright, so once you come up here, I think there's a double battle right there, but we're not going to attempt to do it right now. There's an item over there, but I don't think that's worth your time. I think that's just an elixir. And if you go in here, I don't think this is really all that important either. You have a guy here that... My height is 67 inches on the button. I know it is this precisely because my neighbor measured me. Yes, you listen to your neighbor. What if your neighbor wanted to lie to you to make you feel better? Oh, well, who cares? Moving on. This place is a waste of time, so there's no reason to come there except for maybe a little laugh. We go here, we have Wanted, the Ultimate Horn. So this thing is apparently wanting something. What does this woman want? Heracross! Big and shiny. It's the Bug Boss. Love it. Need it? Heracross. Well, I don't need it, but if you want a Heracross, you can go catch one. Well, as it turns out, the area next to us is actually filled with Heracross in addition to Bug-type Pokemon. Green path here and the pattern bushes ahead. You go in this place, you can find a bunch of Bug-type Pokemon. There's quite a few number of Bug-type Pokemon here you can find from the Johto region, in addition to some from the Kanto. And I think there are also some Pokemon trainers here you can battle, but I'm not going to battle them. Just kind of want to make knowledge of their existence and kind of move on from there. So yeah, there's a couple of trainers if you want to battle them. Like I said, I'm not going to, but feel free if you want to. And if I could sneak around this lady here. Oh, you would find me, you jerk. Oh well, take a deep breath. Isn't the air delicious? No, it is not. It is ridiculous. Well, fresh air is nice. But you know how I feel about nature. Nature is evil. Wow, 4 Pokemon. Well, here you can see some Johto Pokemon. We haven't seen a lot. Actually, we haven't seen one this episode. So we'll go ahead and battle these things. Hop up here. I think you could find that here. Maybe not. Maybe you can. Maybe you can't. Well, either way, it is a grass flying type. Has a unique typing. There's only one other Pokemon in the game that has it to my knowledge. It being one of the most awesome Pokemon ever in Tropius. Even though its stats are abysmal. I like Tropius. It has an awesome design. Awesome look, and just excuse me, the grass flying type is incredible. The only poor thing about Tropius, and even the grass flying types in general, is the quad weakness to ice type moves, and you have a weakness to Stealth Rock. Pretty much any flying type out there except Skarmory and Levitators are dead up on arrival because of that worthless Stealth Rock. Here I'm going on a rant about Stealth Rock, something that doesn't exist in this generation. I don't know about you guys, but I really don't like Stealth Rock that much. I mean, I don't think it's a cheap thing, but I really don't like it or entry hazards. I mean, there is merit and strategy to it. No, I don't want to learn Dragon Rage. There is merit to having Stealth Rock, but, you know, I just personally don't like it all that much. Probably because one of my favorite Pokemon is Moltres, and I can't use it because of Stealth Rock. I'm worried about using those things competitively. Now, it does check really good Pokemon, and I'm not saying it's a bad thing. Like I said, I just don't like it. I kind of prefer to try and battle without it, but that's just me. If you'd like, I can teach you how to breathe properly. No, thank you. I have done yoga. I know how to do that. We are not going to learn how to breathe. If you do not know how to breathe, I feel sorry for you, but anyway, moving on. Alright, once we get out here, and there's a place we can sail over here. My repels didn't wear off. I hope they didn't. Alright, so we sail over this way. You will notice there's a little island here, but there's nothing there except a trainer. I don't really want to battle another trainer. Alright, if you sail up to the north, you can get to the Outcast Island. Oh my goodness, I have no ninja skills at all. It's not easy sending Pokemon out while swimming, you know? Alright, well, I've already shown a couple of battles here, and I don't want to show too many more, so I'm going to go ahead and cut this one out, and I will meet you guys after it's over. Be right back. Okay, I probably could have shown that battle because she only had one Pokemon, it being a Johto Pokemon as well, Meryl, but I went ahead and got rid of it because I didn't want to show too many battles. Got quite a bit to do in this episode, and I'd like to get it all accomplished in one episode if possible. Alright, so anyway, you defeat her and slowly make your way up. I think there is one more trainer, one more swimmer here. Yeah, there's a couple right there, but I do not want to battle them if I don't have to. And here we got this guy here. If you could be real sneaky, I am not, but if you are, aha, totally got past you. Alright, we're going to swim around, and once we do, there's an item over here. If we can get over there without battling this guy. Here we pick up a PP up. That is helpful. Use those to increase the PP of your Pokemon. Power points. Alright, we're going to swim back around. If we come down here, we are going to have to swim past this ninja guy here. If I can do it. I did it. Alright, you go to this cave right here. I regret to inform you that this altering cave thing here, there is actually nothing of significance here. All you can find are Zubat. More or less, you come here to pick up your event Pokemon and stuff like that. If you happen to have gone to the events and mystery gifts and stuff like that, you can come here to receive those. But outside of that, the only Pokemon you can find here are Zubat. It's not really worth your time unless you've done event Pokemon, so I'm not going to look around too much just because of that. But yeah, just know this is here if you happen to have got the events or you have a way of getting event Pokemon, stuff like that. Alright, so now that we've done all that, that pretty much takes care of everything here on 6 Island we can explore. I'm going to head back to the Pokemon Center again, and we will take off to 7 Island shortly after that. So once again, I will be right back. Alright, now that we are back, we are going to move on back down to the Sea Galloping Ferry thing, and we're going to make our way down to 7 Island. Ahoy there, where do you want to set sail? For a millionth time, we want to be taken to an island. Alright, we're beating high-speed 5 boat to get down to this island here, to arrive at 7 Island. Alright, once we come here to 7 Island, we have not been here at all, so there's quite a bit to explore. I guess we'll start with this house, might as well, since it's the first one here. If we go here and talk to this lady, she says, I may not look like much now, but when I was younger, I flew everywhere challenging trainers everywhere I found them. Now, my only source of enjoyment is reminiscing about the past while watching battles. Alright, I'll leave you to reminisce about your past. I'm going to keep going on exploring because we've got people that actually care about what I'm doing. These islands are called the Sevii Islands because there are 7. Or at least, that's what the young people believe. The truth is, these islands are so named because they are said to have been made in 7 days. Alright, I don't know much about the history of these islands, but as it turns out, there are a couple of extra islands, but we cannot have access to them without special events, and we do not have access to these events, or at least I don't, so I'm not going to worry about talking about those right now. Anyway, we talked to the scientist guy. He says, this island has been left virtually untouched in its natural state. It could be a little difficult to hike around because of that. Yes, it could, but don't worry, it is possible to get around. Well, anyway, we are here on the island. We're new, so I'll go ahead and pull the town map out, as I have with the other islands. Now, you will notice here that we've got quite a bit to explore, but it's not quite as much as you'd think. More or less what you've got here is you've got some ruins to the south that we will be checking out, in addition to a place called Trainer's Tower to the north. Now, I'm not going to be taking on the Trainer Tower myself, but I will head up there just to show you guys what it looks like, or run into a trainer in the process. Alright, somewhere on this island, peculiar Pokemon are sleeping. Well, that is a bit helpful. I guess I'll go ahead and show this battle, since there isn't really much else we could do. We have a Psychic Trainer here. It's going to throw out a Natu. which is the weirdest bird Pokemon ever. Supposed to be like a totem pole or something. Alright, Charizard, do not miss and hit you with a Fire Blast. Excuse me. Alright, Cole, do not miss and hit that thing with a Fire Blast. I'll take the thing out right away. Alright, with that we get a little bit of experience. Here he's about to throw out a Drowsy. I'm going to keep Cole out there. Go ahead and show this battle, I guess, and do all this stuff. Yeah, I'm showing the battle, and I'm saying I'm just now going to show the battle. Alright, I'll go ahead and show this one, but there is another one that if I have to engage in a fight with, I'm going to go ahead and just avoid it. I don't want to deal with them too many of these battles. Like I said, I'd like to try and get all this in one episode if possible. Not sure if I'll be able to. We'll see how it goes and everything like that. Alright, I was about to send out a Hypno. I'd like a powerful physical attacker to take care of this. And I think Pecky would be just right for the job. And if not, it could still use the special defense EVs. And I am not going to say how I know it has special defense EVs. Maybe I did do EV training recently. Maybe I didn't. Who knows? Alright, with that, we've critical hitted that Hypno and taken it out of the game. Thank goodness. And once we've defeated it, the Psychic Rodette says, "What an amazing trainer. Thank you, thank you. I will accept your compliment because you are a girl and not a friend of Bill." Alright, moving on. Now then, if you go up here to the north, you will see Trainer Tower. Once I get there, I'll explain a little bit. Kind of take this slow. I think there is a couple of trainers. Or maybe there's not, and I am completely wrong. Perfect timing. Alright, you go up here to Trainer Tower. Now, the way this works is this right here is a series of battle. What we got here? "I'm here to see how good I am. I wonder what kind of trainers are waiting for me." It's nerve-wracking. Alright, well, the way this works is if you go through here, you will battle 8 trainers consecutively, and your goal is to try to get to the top as quickly as possible. If you manage to do that, you will gain some kind of items. The first time I did this through, I ended up getting another upgrade. But yeah, if you get through these trainers successfully, you will receive an item once you get to the top, depending on what your score was. And it will naturally be recorded here on this screen when you do it. I do not have it here. Single battle. You have about an hour, I suppose, to do it. Now, I'm not going to do this myself, but feel free to if you want to. Just simply go up there, talk to them. You can take your party in as is. I'd recommend you have your Pokemon all at the same level because they will be at the level of your highest Pokemon. And if you have like Charizard at level 80 and the rest of your team is at level 20, you're going to have to battle 2 or 3 80 Pokemon with your 20 Pokemon. If Charizard happens to go down, that's that. So yeah, try to keep your Pokemon around the same level. You can use items and stuff, full restores, revives, stuff like that. So there's no worries about that. This is not quite like Battle Tower, where you have consecutive things to get battle points and stuff like that. But yeah, this is Trainer Battle where you can go. Excuse me, this is a thing where you can Trainer Tower. You get through 8 consecutive trainers and you will receive prizes accordingly to how quickly you do it. So that's all there is pretty much to this. Like I said, I'm not going to do it. Feel free to if you want to. That guy over there is not worth talking to. Just trust me on that. So now that we've done that, we're going to head back to the Pokemon Center one more time, and then we're going to finally check out the last part of Sevii Island. So I will meet you guys back down there in just a little bit. Be right back. Alright, once we are back here at the front Pokemon Center of Sevii Island, we're going to end up heading to the south now. And as we do, there are several trainers here you can battle. I'm not going to battle them if I don't have to. Try to avoid them as much as I can, once again, for time constraints. There's quite a bit we have to do at this point. Now, if we head to the south, there's nothing really to the south. I mean, there's a couple of different things, but we'll encounter those as we see those. There are a lot of trainers on this route, so kind of be prepared for that, as you will have to sometimes engage in battle. If you're not careful, you will have to anyway. Now, what you want to do is I would completely avoid that over there because there's just a double battle, and I'm going to avoid those as much as I possibly can. Just 2 couples that want to battle you. And as you move around here, we are at the Sevii Canyon, where we will have to move around very carefully. Like they said, this place has been preserved for pretty much millions of years. There's not much you can do about it. Now, there is a trainer here, double battle you might have to do. If you take one more step forward, you will have to do it. But luckily for us, we do not have to do it. Not mandatory. Now, if you go over here and pick up this, here you could pick up a nugget, which is helpful for money, I guess. Now, you can keep going if you want to, but what I'd actually recommend, and something that's required to actually do anything, there is a cave over here, and you're going to want to head down here to do this cave. There's a little puzzle here. And once you come in here, this puzzle has everything to do with what comes up after everything you get done here. What you have to do is you have to get all these rocks in their positions. Now, this is a little bit trickier than what you would think. What you're supposed to do is after you have a Pokemon that has strength, I guess I could have said you need a Pokemon that has strength in order to do this. Once it's able to move rocks, what you want to do is you want to just go ahead and move the first boulder straight up. Now, rather than move those boulders straight to their respective positions, what you want to do is you actually want to move one out, then go up, push it up one more time, And once it's there, you simply want to push it over to another spot. And then you just want to repeat the process for this boulder down here. Push it over, push it up one more time, and then just push it over a little bit more. Alright, once we've done that. Now the reason you want to do that is because, well, you can't get these other boulders up here without doing that. And the way you make these work is you simply push that boulder to the right, push that boulder to the left, then just push this one up all the way up to the top. And naturally do the same thing with this. Push it all the way up to the top. Once you're there, push it to the right, push it to the left, and that just leaves you with these right here, and you can take care of these by simply pushing them up. And once we push the last one in place, there will be a lot of rumbling, like El Blanco is using earthquake or something. Maybe we've released tremors or something. Anyway, a mysterious rumble echoed somewhere far away. So apparently there was an echo that rumbled far away, and we are going to go find that right now. Well, what ended up happening is we have now made some Pokemon appear to the south of here, and we are going to check that out, but first we have a battle. I do not want to do battles, though, so we are not going to. And if you have Rock Smash, you can get through a little bit easier, otherwise you have to take the way around here and do this very carefully. Or not do it carefully and run into a bunch of new Pokemon. Totally avoided you, jerk. I avoided a trainer just to find a random Pokemon. Well, there's a Max Elixir, so I guess that makes it for it a little bit. Alright, we're going to keep moving along here. If you talk to this guy right here, these has something kind of funny. Training by oneself is certainly not a bad thing, but it's also not bad to aim for the top with a partner. Even Bruno. He trained with a fellow by the name of Brawly before. So there's a little tidbit of information about Bruno and Brawly. I think that is a trainer in the Hoenn region, but don't quote me on that. So now that we've got that, if we're real careful, we can navigate around these trainers or not. Alright, those shoes you have are pretty snazzy. Thank you, my mommy bought them, but I do not want to battle you, so I'm going to go ahead and cut this out, and I will meet you guys after it is over. Be right back. The only thing I hate more than evasion-boosting Pokemon are Pokemon that are special or physical walls, and you can't get past them without having a special or physical Pokemon. Oh, well, moving on, it does not matter. Well, if you happen to have if you happen to have Rock Smash in addition to Strength, you can go over there and you can pick up that over there, which is a King's Rock that will evolve Poliwhirl into Politoed, or Slowpoke into Slowking. If you want to do that, you can go pick that up. I'm not going to, but just know that that is there. And we navigate around here, avoid these trainers as much as we can. If you go here, there's something kind of funny. Go talk to this guy. He says, kicking and moving around. Dance, dance, Chansey, dance! You join in too. Dance, dance! Would you like to dance? Well, not really. I'm not much of a dancer, but if you want to happen to heal your Pokemon, go ahead and dance with this guy. It's the only way to heal your Pokemon this far out. So I have taken a little bit of damage. I'm going to go ahead and dance, and we will watch Chime dance like an idiot. Chime, dance the Chansey dance! And it looks very stupid. Wow, I cannot believe I'm showing this right now. Ah, well, it's worth it to get healed after my stupid dance. Ha 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 ha! There, you're all chipper now, luckily. Alright. Well, I don't know if I'm lucky, but anyway, if you go over here and pick this up, you can pick up a Lucky Punch, which is neat. Raises the critical hit ratio for Chansey. If you happen to get one, I don't have one. Not going to pick one up. That is a trainer over there. You can avoid that if you want. Well, not if you want. I'm going to go ahead and avoid it. I hate random encounters. It pretty much confirms that my max repels are out. I thought they may have been out, but I got a little confused here. Alright, down through here, you have the ruins that are the Tonabi Ruins or something like that. I'm not sure the exact name of it. Didn't really look up at the top of my screen when I did it. But yeah, if you go inside these ruins here, you can actually find some unknown, which are, if you don't know what unknowns are, they are basically Pokemon that are the letters of the alphabet. And that's more or less what they are. There's not really much here. You will have had to have done that tunnel that I did earlier in order to actually find these unknowns. If I could find one real quick, I'll show you what they are. Or not find them and make... Oh, I've got to rappel up. Well, that kind of defeats the purpose of having this, doesn't it? Alright, well anyway, trust me, you can find unknowns there. That is a trainer there. And there are several trainers littered throughout this area. You can find out a little bit about the ruins if you want to. So yeah, feel free to look around here if you want to. I'm not going to because, well, I have no reason to except running around the island and try to hatch this egg. So with that out there, that pretty much does everything as far as exploring the islands go. We've looked around 5 islands, 6 islands, and we've also looked around 7 islands, so we've pretty much explored everything that we can actually explore right now. And as I run around in a circle, try to hatch this egg, I don't think it's going to happen, so that'll do it for this episode. In the next episode, we are going to hatch this egg, and after we do that, we are going to tackle something else that we could have done after we became the Pokemon League champion, but did not actually do before. What that is, well, I will not spoil, but let's just say it has something to do with a very dark cave and a very powerful Pokemon. And trust me when I say it's going to be worth the time of waiting. So as I run around here and try to hatch this Pokemon, I'll go ahead and just keep doing this, and as soon as it's ready, I'll throw it in the next episode. And until then, I will catch you guys later.